What's going on, friends in film fandom, wherever you are and however you're watching? Thank you so much for giving us just a few minutes of your time. And here we are, actually here I am, once again, not Frank, but covering for Frank because, you know, he's got more important things to do, take care of right now, like being with family, so, yeah. But that's okay, we can manage and run this shit show without him. So, um, pardon my very generic looking background that I didn't scroll through Google.
You know, it's almost
Or
in honor of Frank because it's very 80s save the bell kind of thing.
I mean, not this background. It's like, you know, skating rink, like 90s looking confetti background, like the carpet you'd see. I mean, like, I just totally picked a photo like 5 minutes ago and ran with that. But anyway, if you couldn't guess from that, we're doing something a little bit more laid back since, again, we're just kind of just rolling through this week since you have to deal with me. We're doing top fives. So since it's halfway through the year, we'll give our top five picks that we have already seen up to this point, and something, whatever we're gonna anticipate for the rest of this year. So here to do that, of course, the two greatest co-hosts we could ask for. The first one being, not knocking over my camera, is Lady Cora. How are you?
I'm good. Today is the hottest day in Vegas so far this year, and I'm hiding inside. And my AC isn't broken. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, that's always a good time. And again, somebody who is no stranger to the heat, the shade from the Lone Star State, that would be Tex. And how are you faring in this heat?
Oh, we good, man. We good. We're our heat's just starting. Wait till it, like the hundreds and tens for like a month straight hit. Then I'll start bitching. But 90s, I have no room to complain. But all good. So
Yeah.
glad to be back and really looking forward to more of a loose fitting kind of review. There's a lot less homework needed for stuff like this, so I always enjoy these. So that's fun.
And I guess it kind of works since it's Thursday. And, you know, I don't know what the kids still do Throwback Thursdays or not, but this is kind of like what we used to do. So
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm all for that. I don't really, I don't
Oh
mind.
yeah.
Because we can just kind of sit back and chill and have a discussion about some movies.
Yeah.
So, where was that photo that I didn't just steal from Google? There we go. Tony, like I said, we're doing top fives. I don't really know if we have a.
Google takes plenty of our shit. One photo from them is not going to hurt anything. So.
No, I'm just saying if, God forbid, we actually get monetized and someone starts going back, they'll start thumbing back through the files, and you're like, wait a minute.
Right. 6-8. If this was a scoreboard, they've got like 5,320. We've got one on the board. We've got some more coming our way. No worries.
We're poor. Please let us have money. Anyway, I guess we'll start with the movies that we've already seen, and we'll just kind of. I've got like sticky notes all over my, not actual sticky notes, but all over my screen here, trying to keep everybody in line. Just go around the table and just start. I'll start with Cora. What's your first one that you've seen this year that you really enjoyed?
Beekeeper, and most people probably didn't like it, but the catch is this. I love Jason Statham. It's like a mix between Transporter and any action movie. A lot of people compare this to like a knockoff of John Wick, but to me, this was just a standalone, unique story ish. Yeah, sure, there's a little cheesy. You know, used to be like a private secret agent like organization, and he was called the Beekeepers, and he ends up retiring and being a beekeeper. You know, but it's a fantastic take on a very modern issue in the older person's getting scammed out of their money and getting and what basically his neighbor ends up getting scammed out of all her money, and she ends up killing herself from the shame, and he goes after the scammers and hardcore, like to the top of the top, and just pummels it all down. And there's some people who think this is going to be the start of a trilogy.
Ooh.
And sure, you know, you could look at it and go, the dialogue wasn't that great, the run was kind of cheesy, way more action, but fuck, I'm all for that sometimes. So I like this. Yep.
So is this kind of like this sounds like a 80s action film brought to modern day? Would you say it's similar to that, or?
Yeah, I would say so, but with the modern twist, with call center scammers using the internet to
Right? Yeah.
scam
No.
people out of their money
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's like he
Yeah.
shows up to the first call center in an old pickup truck with 2 gallons of gas, and he sets them down with security guards coming at him, and he knocks them out, walks in, and fucks the place up. It's fantastic. So I really liked it. I was looking forward to it as soon as I saw the trailer, long before it came out. Yeah, you can say it's cookie cutter action, redemption, justice kind of movie, but I liked it. So it was the one I was most looking forward to at the beginning of the year. So there you go, The Beekeeper.
We love a good revenge story here, so
Mm-hmm.
I can be cool with that. I'm dicking around. I'm seeing if I can put that top 5 thing behind us.
Well, while you're dicking around, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, why don't you text? Give me your first one.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go give you some cushion here. I'm going to cheat a little bit.
I saw your list. You kind of did cheat. You inflated your list, but go on. I'll.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'll make my own rules. I do what I want, buddy. I'm a maverick here.
I didn't even put out there that most of yours were all just horror. I'm like, we already know that. I'm just like,
of course.
I can't put. I have 3 movies. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to fill that with my list. Like, okay, no.
Well, no. To be fair, there's 2 different lists, and one of them is on one, and 2 of them is on the other. So
I know, but
there were no sanctions on how these lists have to fall. And so, you know what? I do things my own way. Either way, okay. I'm going to for the same creature battled for the 5 spot from 2 different movies, and y'all probably already know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But Godzilla had a really good year this year, and for my number 5 pick, I have to go with Godzilla X Kong, just because it was a fun popcorn movie. It was, Marvel Avengers MCU style with the classic kaiju monsters. You had a couple new ones, a couple old ones, and it was just good all around. It was a fun watch. The honorable mention, of course, goes to Godzilla -1, which was a more traditional Godzilla film. But for the 5 spot, I have to go Godzilla Kong.
Which one was better?
They're different kinds of films.
Okay.
If you want a serious movie with a message, go see Godzilla -1. It's a old school Godzilla film brought to modern day with more of a meaning. Whereas Godzilla Kong was just, oh hey, here's a bunch of gigantic monsters, go kill each other.
Gotcha.
So very, very different
I haven't seen
feel.
either,
very
but I mean
different.
to.
Yeah. Well,
Have
I know
you seen them,
Godzilla. Go ahead.
I was letting him talk. No.
Oh, sorry. I was just curious because you've seen them and I haven't seen them, so I'm wondering if a lot of people haven't seen them yet. So.
No, the last one I saw was King Kong from like 1933 or whatever the hell it was. So that's the last time I really watched it or even cared. So.
Well, these are big movies, and I haven't seen them.
No, I watched the '98 one with Matthew Broderick. I lied, but still, that's Godzilla. That's my threshold of calling Godzilla. So I don't know.
I became a Godzilla fan back in once again, Joe Bob Briggs. It seems like I talk about him every week. Back in his Monster Vision days, he would just do on TNT. He would do because at the time TNT had the rights to a bunch of these Toho Godzilla films, and they would show them on a regular basis. So many Saturday nights I would spend as a kid watching these classic films, and I just love the classic kaiju monsters like this, and they're just so much fun to watch. And I gotta appreciate them. And I mean, hell, Godzilla won an Oscar this year, so that should tell you something. So.
That is impressive to get through that wall of snootiness with the action movie.
Well, and I would say as long as these 2 characters have been around, honestly, they've stuck around for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's no small feat, especially as how many different iterations have we seen of them in live action and cartoon and CGI, all that jazz. Or a guy in a costume, whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm opposed to just a big mindless monster fight, but I feel like maybe the problem now is I feel like I'm behind on something because I'm like, I feel like because every movie now we already know is all just together in the same universe or it's all part of some big. We know these kaiju monsters are all in the same universe, but I'm saying these last couple
Isn't it
movies
called
I felt
Monarch something? The Monarch universe or something?
I
The
don't
Monarch is a governmental organization within the world of Godzilla X Kong, and that goes back to the 2014 Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, like all of those films. All of that is within the same world. Godzilla Minus One is its own thing done from Asian creators, so why it feels more
Oh.
traditional.
know. That probably
And
feels more-
yeah, it's a it's worth watching. Like I said, Godzilla Minus One is a traditional Godzilla film, and we don't get much traditional these days, and I think that's why it's so good. So I can't.
Well, I'm gonna
recommend
watch it then. I was on the fence about that one. I was
It's
gonna
on
see.
Netflix. It's
Ooh.
it's there now. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I'll watch it this weekend.
Also, I don't know what Casey's doing here. Just in general.
Casey,
I
just
don't know
because
why.
Frank is here, that doesn't mean you can't come here.
Oh no.
Frank
He's sitting here
Frank
saying
will be
like, looks
back.
like Frank. No, trust me. He's got more important. Maybe he was just not wanting to deal with you because that was record time. I think I wanted to timestamp that like 10 minutes, and here comes Casey. Like, God, thanks for coming, guys. We gotta go. He's with family. So
Hell yeah.
God.
So what do you got for us, Jeremy? What's your number 5, dude?
So actually, speaking of family, my mom's taking care of a good friend of ours, so she says hi. So she's not on her normal
Aw.
whatnots, but
Hi, BJ. Hi, Frank.
just trust
Jeremy's
me.
mom.
Everybody's here who should be here. All right. Shut up, Casey. Get off my comments. There we go.
When are you not here to cause trouble? Like, when does that not happen?
He doesn't know what trouble is, so he doesn't even know how to do it.
I don't know if he was here last time to hear us, and I'll take a second to mention it now. Now we're at 709 subscribers. Last I heard, we were
we're beating you, Casey. So boo boo.
And
Uh-huh.
Casey, Jeremy has the power to take your wrench away. Frank's too nice. Frank's not here to protect your wrench, so you might behave.
I think Frank welcomes it. He just likes to, keep pushing his buttons. Oh, it's so fun. It's like early Markiplier when everyone thinks that he like hated his friend Wade. He's like, no, it's a joke and it's a bit. We don't actually hate him.
Yeah, we love Casey. He's a good guy.
Anywho, so my ones that I watched that I enjoyed was kind of short because I'm like I don't think I really watched anything new so far.
Oh, okay.
But I do have a full list for anticipated. But I think I added another. A thought crossed my mind as I was putting this together of one that comes out this year that I added as like an honorable mention to fill in for anticipated. So I'll kind of round myself out as I stall to get my picture. Not in any particular order, but just off the top of my head, my first one was Dune Part 2.
Oh,
that was good. That was a good one.
I love the one from was it 84, 85 or something?
Sting and who else was in there? I can't remember.
Oh, freaking Captain Picard was in there.
Yeah.
The guy who's Lucy's dad from Fallout, he's just Paul Atreides, just casually in the original.
Right.
But no, honestly, for a remake, I was really excited when Part 1 came out. I watched it, and I know it's not like everyone's cup of tea to watch like a 6-hour movie, and I'm kidding, it's like 3 hours, but it's a very dense kind of story, and it deserves to be told in like multiple parts like this. I when that first started happening, I was kind of like, why? I feel like the first time I remember that happening was either like Twilight or Harry Potter, where I'm like, why are we splitting one thing into two? It just seemed annoying. I'm like, I think we're just dragging it out. Now
I'll tell you when it started. I'll tell you when this whole thing started. AMC, the TV network, back in the day, when Mad Men, the last season, was done, they were trying to hang on to viewership, and they split the season up into 2 parts and made you wait 6 months to get the second half. Then they did it again with Breaking Bad, and then everybody copied it.
I'll say, I'm
Oh
pretty
my
sure Walking
God,
Dead
when
did that
they
too.
when AMC did that with Walking Dead with the first Negan kills, my God,
I was gonna say
pissed
that's what I
off.
was thinking. I'm not sure if that was really
Oh
a part
my
1 and 2. It was
God.
between seasons, but like they didn't split
Yeah,
like season
yeah,
11 part 1, season 11 part 2. But
But the Harry
you
Potter
know.
thing, I also think was the book was fucking huge, and I don't think
I
J.K.
was
Rowling
about
wanted
yeah.
to lose content.
That's what I was
Uh,
gonna say. I think the books have enough meat in them that they're like, yeah, that's okay. You can warrant something like that. And like I said with Dune, there's a whole shitload of story here that I want them
yeah.
to take their time with. And honestly, yeah, part 2 even still
Isn't it like a 10-part
blew me out
book
of the water.
series in all, like Wizard of
Oh,
Oz and
Dune? Yeah, I was
shit?
gonna say Dune is
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
So like we haven't even like scratched the surface of the sand here with this. So you know what?
Oh, nice pun.
Yeah, I got plenty. Um,
Now, did you get your fleshlight popcorn bucket from Dune 2? That's
Oh
the real question.
no.
no, I'm waiting for Deadpool. That's what I'm waiting for.
That one
Oh, you want
is
the
that one is
you
a little
want the
disgusting,
Wolverine
especially
fleshlight? That's what you want. Okay,
whoever
I
put
got
the
Man, I
video
like
in our
Wolverine.
chat about that. In the video when they squeeze the butter on top at the end, I just almost threw up. I couldn't.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm like
No,
he knows how to market stuff. That is funnier than hell. I'm so glad he did that.
it's got designed by Deadpool written in like bright red letters on the side of it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
great. It's
Like
gonna be
see, like
great.
that's how you do marketing. That's hilarious.
So what did
Yeah.
you love about it? What did you love about the Dune movie?
Well, because again, it's like we always compare, but I'm like to someone who's never seen it. I'm like it's something that you can. I mean, yeah, it's lengthy, but you can get into it because like it draws some other things where it feels like it's kind of like in a. You could feel like this is in a similar universe or something like Star Wars or even like Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
or not like I don't want to say Spaceballs, but like not a parody, which is basically Star Wars.
So it has its own
You want-
self-encompassed universe, which is done well.
Yeah, like there's
Didn't
planets, there's
Star
factions
Wars
and
get a
stuff
lot
that-
from Dune though?
Well, Star Wars came out first, I think. Well, no, the books maybe.
Well, the books
no, hold
came
on.
out first, I
The
think.
Dune
shit.
books came out before Star Wars. I'm pretty sure I've heard that before. I could be wrong, but I'm not a Dune
I'm pretty
expert.
sure the books too.
That might have been. I mean, because I know he took for the movie, he took a lot of stuff from like Akira Kurosawa, like samurai films, and you can see it in Star Wars, like the samurai movie influence in that. But yeah, it's like if you want to get into another like spacey world universe, like Dune's definitely something to check out. And I think the original one's even still on Prime or Max or something.
Mm.
So,
I will say this.
see 'em.
Dune is the best looking movie that I've seen on screen this year.
Oh man,
Like when you're looking at
that's
it,
a
it's
theater
just
movie. Yeah.
oh yeah, it is like you find it looks great on your 60-inch at home, whatever. I don't get to an IMAX very often, but I wish I had gone to an IMAX to see Dune 2 because it deserved a true IMAX and not some chintzy IMAX, but a real one. And it deserved it. It was awesome.
And like it's I can love that something simplistic still smacks. I mean, like look at that. That's very minimal, but like it's so cool looking. Like we have talked about like cool posters and cool like shots. That's I can't get over that. That's
and I heard they did a really big thing about how they did the world premieres all over the world, like they did had huge events and it was done very well and the actors all turned out like at every one of them and they really marketed it well from what I heard. So
yeah,
hey,
I think
they made Zendaya likable.
That's
they
because
did
they showed her butt. She wore that outfit with her butt cheeks through clear
it
plastic.
Wasn't even about that. Zendaya has maybe the worst case of resting bitch face I've ever seen in my life. Anytime you ever see her,
she plays,
miserable. Yeah, and like they actually made her likable in a film, so they did something right.
Part 2 got pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie. That thing, I think we have a review up, but that black and white planet where you had the guy who plays Elvis just in that no hair, no eyebrow.
Austin Butler. Yeah.
Austin Butler. That was
yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like just the visuals,
Yeah.
the music in this movie. Yeah, it's
Dude, he could have been the next. He could have been the next Hell Priest. Put some nails in that head. He's Pinhead, buddy. Like he's far out looking.
You could do it. I know Ray Park ain't getting any younger. You could have a new Darth Maul, like a young Darth Maul.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
He's in his prime, man. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we circled the wagon back to Cora. What is number 2?
Okay, the next one is The Idea of You. It's a romantic drama-ish modern day story of a cougar who ends up falling in love with this 25-year-old guy. And it's better than it sounds. I read the book, and Amazon produced it, as Anne Hathaway in it, and I forget who the fuck the young guy is. And it's literally just this realistic love story about a very unconventional love connection and how it affected their families. And it had this really nice character arc for the younger guy who's the singer, and it's very emotionally evocative but moving and romantic in a realistic way, and I liked it a lot. It's probably because I read the book and loved the book, but the movie just came out recently on Prime, and I loved it. So there you go.
And you know damn well me
That
and
looks
Tech,
like-
their opening night.
I can't put the picture back up for a minute. I can't remember the guy's name, but he looks just like the dude that's playing the new Superman. I can't remember who. What's his name?
Yeah, that they put out that new picture for Superman. Yeah,
I think that's the same dude. Which if that's him, there's the Dark Knight Catwoman shacking up with Superman. So Batman's gonna be pissed.
Well, as we know from American Psycho, Batman did in fact kill a Joker at some point. So.
I hope his name's not Paul, because he's not going to end well. But
this is one of the rare cases where I think the movie had a better ending than the book. So there you go.
Hey, Anne Hathaway's hot. I've seen her naked in many films.
Wow.
I've watched many films just to see her naked. So
Wow.
it's fine. It's all good.
You know that's probably
I'm
a
a
body
fan.
double. Just saying, but you know.
Oh no! You get the full. No, it's.
Wow, you are very specifically sure about this.
I have studied. I can look at a film and know if it's body double or not. I know my stuff.
I don't know how you can be that sure about it, but I'll stand down and say okay.
I may not have a degree on the wall, but I know my stuff. That's all I'm saying.
All right then.
Anyway, before the FBI knocks your door down, Tex, what's your
Speaking of hot women in film, that's actually a perfect segue to my number 4. That would be Immaculate with the lovely Sydney Sweeney. Now,
I almost saw this. I almost watched it.
This movie was a surprise. Sydney Sweeney came across this screenplay years ago and bought the rights to it because she loved it so much. She executive produced a lot of what got this film to screen, and she wanted to star in this. It's a different take on the Devil's Baby being born. Now, we've seen it 1,000 times, from Rosemary's Baby to The Omen to whatever. But this film, we get this from the perspective that it comes from, the religious implications. There's like, I'm holding back a lot because I don't want to spoil this because this movie is so
I
good.
saw the trailer. It's a very complicated story about a girl who's going to a place she's never been, and it's like cultish.
Yeah.
She's trying to figure it out, and it's mysterious.
Yeah. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
This is one, even if you're not a horror fan, I think you could watch this film.
I'm raising my hand here. Yeah.
The storytelling was done excellent. I don't know the director's name. I didn't think to write it down, but it's worth seeing. I'll say that. I don't know where this is streaming, but go find Immaculate because
I saw it on Amazon Prime as a rental option. That's where I first was introduced to it.
It's probably on some sort of platform by now. It may just be wrong. I don't know. It's been out for a while, but Immaculate, it came out, and like I didn't really expect much, and then I heard other people talking about it. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And you know what? I liked it. So I mean, hell, it got to number 4 on my list. So it's all good.
Nice.
And Tex apparently almost made my mom fall out of her chair when he was talking about Anne Hathaway like that. So that's
Wow.
good job. Yeah.
Almost. So how much further do I need to go to make her completely fall?
Bad
Well,
touch, Tex. Bad touch.
We've
You
only
don't-
just started. We can. I mean,
I was going to say, you can't tell me that and not expect me to take that challenge. I mean, just come on now. Just say.
he's got like a Charlie Day like wall on his thing. Like I can tell you right now why this is Anne Hathaway and not a body double. Like Shane Smoke is
Oh,
right
goodness.
now. Look at Exhibit A right. He's got like folders and shit.
Right. Hey, I'm taking notes here. I'm taking notes of what to do next time. You know, we're good.
Oh boy. Yeah, and I was also. I mean, again, my list is short. I was kind of hoping you guys would carry this for me, basically.
Oh yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah. Because we're just gonna come here and just bullshit about some movies, which that's what we do here. So, all right. My next one is probably gonna be controversial and kick up the sand, even though we're past Dune. Honestly,
I see
one
what
that.
you did. I understood that reference.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna keep going with those. My next one honestly took me by surprise, and I know we were kind of iffy about it, but Roadhouse-
it was almost on my
What?
list. It was
Oh
almost
my
on my
God,
list, Jeremy.
no way.
It was this close to being on the list, so I'm with
You know
you.
what?
Blasphemous. Blasphemer.
No. Hold on.
Whip
Jeremy.
him.
Hey, you see what it says right there, buddy? Take it outside.
I will meet you outside. It's going to be a long walk for both of us,
And you
but
would
we'll get
you
there
would have to
eventually.
take us both out, and we should just both kick your ass because I almost put it on my list.
I will fight. I will roundhouse kick both of you. This,
Roadhouse.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, I know. And also it was kind of slim pickings again. What I had already seen and what I was looking through for movies that had come out. But I'm like, you know what? I was also very hesitant about it, and I was just kind of. Remember my last line is always, but it's not Patrick Swayze. So don't think that like, oh, I love this movie. It's a great remake. It's worthy. It's no. Like, it was fun and it made sense in a, modern retelling kind of way. And I thought about it more today when I put this up here that the bad guy didn't really feel like I think Frank said it, like the snotty, like trust fund kid where I'm like, okay, you don't seem like the dirty rich guy who's got like the whole town under his thumb and you can tell, he didn't drive a truck through someone's like car dealership. Now I'm wondering if that's maybe saved for his dad that they keep mentioning who's like in prison. I'm like, now he sounds like a scary dude. So I don't know. Maybe if we keep going with this, maybe it could really get wild. Because
they're making a sequel to it, so maybe you'll get your wish.
I'm like, apparently Conor McGregor cannot be killed. He's apparently the new Terminator. He walked right out of the hospital. So,
I love it.
Conor McGregor was the best thing about that movie. I mean, I know we reviewed it and spent 2 hours talking about it, but he even walked like a cartoon character in that movie. I mean,
so much muscle. I mean, how do you? He's got to walk like this because he can't.
The dude he didn't even use the brakes in his car to stop. He just run into things, trees or whatever he could find. He just runs into crap. Like that takes some, real swagger right there. But kudos, I guess.
It's okay to be jealous, Tex.
Yeah.
Hey, I would love to be Conor McGregor. You kidding me? Shit.
Even Jake Gyllenhaal. Look at that physique, man. Like, I wish I could look like that. Like, that's no damn joke right there. I can appreciate somebody who did put in the time to he got pretty ripped for this role. And
right.
I don't know. It just seems like a breeze for some of these people, and I'm kind of mad about it. But
now one thing that I guess because once again Google monitors all of our nonsense. After we did our review, I started getting recommendations of different Roadhouse crap on my YouTube feed for a while, and I watched an interview where Gyllenhaal was talking about how him and Conor McGregor were choreographing the fights and everything else, and McGregor was kind of teaching him how he could sell it better, turn his head this way whenever he does this or whatever. And at one point, during practice, like Conor McGregor full out just hits him in the face because McGregor didn't move in time. And he said he felt every bit of it. So, it was pretty funny to watch the backstories behind all of it.
Well, maybe Jake Gyllenhaal will join WWE after all that training.
Yeah,
There you go. Or he gets Roadhouse 2 with Amazon. Either one of those things will happen.
All right. Who?
Roadhouse.
It's your next, buddy.
Cora.
No, aren't you next?
No, I said Roadhouse.
No, he just did Roadhouse.
Sorry.
You're next.
Roadhouse.
Sorry.
Duh.
The next one I have is the movie I only knew about because Johnny Depp was filming it during the Amber Heard trial. It was the first thing he did after all that nonsense. Jeanne du Barry. It's about the mistress of one of the most notorious French kings and the father-in-law of Marie Antoinette. This movie was done in French, and Johnny Depp can probably thank his ex-longtime lover, who is French, who taught him French. It was fantastic. Of course, it was historically inaccurate on so many things I can't even tell you, but it was fantastic fictionalization of it. And visually, it was pleasing. You got lost in the time period. It was wonderful. For a historical representation, it was the costuming. It was great. If you don't mind, having to read subtitles, and you have any interest in history and want to see how amazing of an actor Johnny Depp is, this is it.
I don't mind.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's great whenever he's not getting his bed shit in. He's doing real good. So,
I think that's a good day for anybody, honestly. I mean,
or getting his finger cut off by a crazy woman. It's all about perspective in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
When I was looking these up, I was just running through trying to see what, and I stopped. So I was staring at the poster. I'm like, is that Johnny Depp? Holy crap! All right, for that.
Well, I guess since he's not doing the Wizarding World Harry Potter movies anymore, or the Pirates, I haven't really heard much out of Johnny Depp. To be honest with you, but besides the court trial stuff, I haven't heard of any work he's doing. So it's good to see he's still out there. So it's good.
Yeah. All right, Haas, you're up next. What you got? Number 3.
Well, number 3 is, since Jeremy did a modern remake, I'll do one too. And this is The Strangers Chapter 1. Now, in the horror world, The Strangers is one of those 2000 films that came out of nowhere and shocked people. This film is a retelling of that to set up a new universe where we're going to get 3 films all within 1 year, chapters 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And what this film does, it hits the highlights of the first film, of course, because, I guess they wanted to, get you in the feels and, I remember that, scene for whatever. But what they do really cool is they do something from a different perspective. Like, probably the most famous scene in The Strangers is when Liv Tyler's in the kitchen and you see the masked man just standing behind her. And his head just pops up out of nowhere from the darkness. They don't, make a scary noise or anything else. You can even miss seeing him if you're not paying attention. Like, they do stuff like that. But in this one, probably the scariest scene in the film is the wife in this. She's taking a shower, and it's just clear glass doors, and you don't like see anything nudity-wise. But the glass doors are really fogged up, and she's got music going. It's very peaceful. And then she kind of moves a little bit. She doesn't see the masked man standing there. He's just standing there watching. And then the scene kind of shifts a little bit, and he's gone. So we know they're in the house, but they don't. It's, like I said, this film hit the highlights of the original, but it set up a lot to go for the next two films. For the horror fans out there, Richard Brake, who stars in a lot of Rob Zombie's films, he was the replacement for Captain Spaulding in Three from Hell. He plays the sheriff in this movie. You only get to see him in one scene, but they set up a lot with like Christian cult type stuff in this little like Pacific Northwest town. It's like Oregon or somewhere up in there. I'm not really sure where it is exactly. And they set up, there's enough new material in here to get you excited for the parts 2 and 3 for them to lay out and tell the rest of the story. So I really enjoyed this one. I went in not expecting much because it's just kind of, they're just trying to make a buck, off of the name and, they're retelling it. I mean, Jeremy, I even told you whenever I went to see it, I said, for someone who's a fan of like Texas Chainsaw, right? We've got 15 different timelines and they've remade this stuff.
Yeah.
This is what this is. This is a, if the Strangers is the tree branch, this one forks off over here. So this one's worth checking out. I believe it's coming to streaming pretty shortly. So if you want to watch something that it's not really scary, but it's a fun watch, so I would recommend it.
Yeah, I know. I think when we were talking about it, I think the other two movies were on a streaming service, so it'd be worth watching.
No, chapters 2 and 3, as of now, will be released in theaters this year. They're not out yet.
No, I'm talking about the ones beforehand because remember I asked you, I was like, wait, I'm confused.
Oh yeah.
That movie 5 years ago.
The Strangers and then Prey at Night. They're streaming somewhere. I own both of them. I love both of the films, and this one, if I had to rank, I'd say this one's probably third on that list. But that's not saying it's bad. I mean, I would say this is like the Evil Dead franchise, where they don't really have a bad movie yet. So being third on that list is no short of anything. So I dig it.
Give it about 40 years and 2 or 3 retcons and some remakes, and
right.
Get there. If we really want to drive.
Right. Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen. Yeah.
I know.
100%.
Okay, we'll be back on me now.
Yes, sir.
We're on you now.
Okay. Well, there we go. I think while you guys were talking, I think what I did was I have one, because I had 3, but I have one as an honorable mention that's anticipated, and one that has already come out that I would still like to see. But, however, my final one that I actually put in my list, where in the hell is my picture? There we go. Ghostbusters.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I know I just said.
I haven't seen it yet.
I was like, give it 40 years. Well, one retcon, which was definitely warranted because we don't talk about 2016. But see, now that's where it's justified. And I mean, this new kind of not a branching timeline, because obviously, as you see, we have the OGs over there. Minus one Harold Ramis, but when I saw the first one, Afterlife, I think when I came out of the theater, I was like, that is how you fucking do it. That's how you pay homage to Harold Ramis, who is with like Dan Aykroyd, who put this whole thing together as one of the creative minds, and still addressing that his character is no longer with us. And again, continuing on with the kids and with like Paul Rudd's character and all that, I was like, this is pretty cool, and I was excited to see this one. The only thing I know people will compare, like, oh well, you only saw the most iconic part of the original Ghostbusters is the Marshmallow Man, and he's there for like 5 minutes at the end of the movie. I'm like,
stay put.
Yeah, and that kind of happened with this movie where I was like, this whole thing is marketed as like, I thought this was gonna be like a frozen wasteland apocalypse type thing, with that ghost you see in the background, and I'm like, I already forgot what his name was, and he was there for about 5 minutes, and then that was it. So I was like, I don't know, maybe it just didn't slap the same way. Maybe it's because this seemed like this was gonna. I was excited because this seemed like a genuine, like, serious threat. I was like, oh, this isn't playing around. This isn't some goofy 100-foot Marshmallow Man walking around New York City, where you're like, oh, that's goofy. Okay, blow him up. But I don't know. I'm still not mad. I think if we keep going, there's potential for a third because again, with Ernie Hudson kind of being the like Bruce Wayne of this whole like business enterprise here of funding the Ghostbusters.
He's the money behind Ghost Inc. or whatever it's called.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not mad about expanding it because it also when we reviewed it, it kind of had like the real Ghostbusters kind of feel because there was that guy who definitely had like the gray jumpsuit and he looked kind of like Harold Ramis's character from that show. So, no, honestly, Ghostbusters is also just like transcended time, and it's again still something I don't think they expected to be what it was, but I mean, I'm kind of glad it is. So
a dark horse, they would say, right?
Yeah, like
I wasn't crazy about this Ghostbusters. Like I was working the night y'all reviewed it. I didn't get to talk about it, but the whole teen daughter storyline that really took me out of the movie. I got to be honest with you. But what I liked about this movie,
it did turn into a teen drama there for a minute where I was like,
it did. It very much so did. Like you fell in love with a ghost and you want to become like it was. Like it got real Twilighty for a few minutes.
You shouldn't trust some little ghost girl. Like she's probably got like other motives because that's how ghosts work. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like what I can say positive though was like I love Dan Aykroyd will forever be my favorite Ghostbuster. Like he's my favorite, and I'm glad that we got more of him in this, and I like how they use his character in this.
Nice.
So I do appreciate that.
Hey, Bill Murray said it in the original movie. It's Ray Stantz, the heart of the Ghostbusters. So
yeah, oh
yeah, that's no joke.
Dan Aykroyd's awesome, man.
Hell yeah. Okay, and we're back, circled around to Cora. What you got?
Let's see. Irina's Vow. I thought it was 2024 from what Amazon said, but when I looked it up on IMDb, it said 2023. So I could be wrong.
I wasn't going to tell you. I saw it and I was like, I'm not going to say it. It's whatever.
It was my bad. I thought it was new.
Right.
So I'm a fan of World War II stories, and this is actually based on a real thing, and it's just about a Jewish girl who ends up being stuck under a German officer in his home, and there's a lot of women's health kind of topics. I'll just say that, and it can be a bit of an emotional pull, but the story in whole is really moving, very well done, and whoever wrote it and whoever wrote this, they're nobodies. They're French. I think the writer and the director were French. I don't really know who the hell she is. Honestly, this actress, her name's Sophie Nelisse. The only person I recognize in this whole movie is Dougray Scott, who's known for being in a bunch of movies, Mission Impossible 2, Hitman, usually Snatch, The Departure. So, I mean, he was like the one notable person I recognized, and it was just a really nice World War II drama story, and it was good. It was good. I'm sorry, it's not 2024. I thought it was.
So
no, I had to.
Would you say?
Sure, I was like,
would you say this was your selfish choice of movies to watch?
Oh boy. For a serious wartime drama with some serious issues, it's not definitely something you sit down and laugh about, but I loved it for what it was.
I'm sorry, I thought Schindler's List was a comedy. My bad.
Well, yeah. Did this film make you want to? Did this film make you need a shower afterwards? That's the biggest question that I got.
No, I cried. It was emotional.
I got this joke.
Oh, like
God, dude.
The day the clown cried. That's a great tie-in right there. There you go. What? I've got so many of these jokes. I really need to stop before I say something that gets Frank kicked off.
Yeah, Tex is really just a gas, isn't he? Everybody in the comments.
He's something.
A gas, really? A gas, really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice of words.
That shower joke right over her damn head.
I send the hate mail to these fuckers, okay?
No. I'm German. You don't. I already get enough of that hate. Come on.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, I'm basically pure blood German. Like I can trace. Like yeah, I get it. It's all good.
No.
We need to move forward, so I'm going to go ahead and change the subject before
There
Frank
we
gets,
go.
kick that
Yeah,
in.
write some more horror. I mean, that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got?
This film was probably my most anticipated film. In a Violent Nature. It just came out this past week. It's basically it's a Friday the 13th film that we're probably never going to get because Sean Cunningham is too greedy and doesn't want to put money out to make a film, even though it would make $1 gajillion.
Is he wearing a beekeeper mask?
No, he is wearing a retro fireman's mask. It's a leather mask with metal deals over the eyes and a breathing apparatus on the front. Very creepy looking mask.
It's cool though.
But what's so interesting about this film is it's all okay. If you've ever played a video game in third person where you're behind your character, that's how this movie is. This entire most of it, like 90% of this movie is you watching from behind Johnny's back, which is the character's name. And this is a mixed bag of a film. I will say this. I loved the movie.
Would you watch it again?
But they could have. 100%. I can't wait for it to cut out. This will be on Shudder very quickly. I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, I think it's Shudder down in the corner. Yeah, I don't doubt.
Yeah, this film was made by Shudder and Independent Film Channel. They made this movie. This is they could have. They could have cut 35 minutes out of this movie. I'll be real honest with you. There is a ton of scenes of him just walking like through the woods, but it's done intentionally because keep in mind this is a Friday. Just imagine a Friday the 13th film where the kids are around the campfire, the kids are in the cabin. All of that is happening, but we're getting it from the killer's perspective. So he'll be walking through the forest, and over on the left side, you'll hear, oh, hey, let's go swimming, grab me a drink, blah blah blah. And we're hearing all of these things that we're used to seeing.
So he's stalking them basically, and you're getting the full experience.
Yes.
Okay.
We're getting the killer's perspective for most of the movie. Now it does break every once in a while, and it goes to a more traditional style where you're following the victims.
Well, because they want you to be surprised and not know where he is all the time, right?
Right. And the two biggest drawbacks, so much freaking walking. Jesus Christ, this dude walks like he's Forrest Gump. They show so much of it. And the ending is like 15 minutes of talking. Like they should have done something different for the ending. I will say that.
Is it a sequel movie or is it done?
No, this is completely original new. Johnny is a new serial killer. It's creative. I won't give away the secret of how he becomes what he is. He's kind of a Jason clone. I mean, you can obviously look at that and tell. But it's creative in how they handle him. But one thing this film has is incredible kills, inventive kills. There is one kill in this movie
would I be able to handle it?
Oh no, you would hate this movie.
Okay.
No, you would hate the kills.
All right.
Without spoiling anything. And by the way, this is a best kill of the year nominee, probably going to win this year. Johnny puts a woman inside of herself.
What?
I won't tell you how. Oh yeah. What? There is a hook involved with a chain, and he puts a woman inside of herself. It's pretty dark.
You know what I'm going to have to say? If I was the actress, and this is the first time you're seeing the script, and you're sitting at that read table, or you're at home reading the script, decide if you want the role, can you imagine what she thought? Well, this is what someday when I have kids and grandkids, and they look at what grandma and mom did when she was an actress, they're going to see this shit.
I'll give you the scenario of kind of how it happened. There's there's these two women. They're in a relationship together, and they're out at the lake. And one of them wants to go swimming, so she rips off her shirt and her shorts. She's wearing a swimsuit. She jumps in the water. She's swimming. Well, the other one wants to go to the ridge and do yoga, and they do kind of a funny, cheesy line. She goes, "Oh well, I'm going to go stretch out, and then maybe you can stretch me out later." You know, sexual pun kind of thing.
Right.
Kind of, it plays very well in the movie.
Sure.
Well, as this is happening, Johnny literally, because he's undead, walks under the water, like breathing underwater because
You
he's
mean
obviously dead.
the bad guys, like the pirates and Pirates of the Caribbean when they're marching across the ocean
Yeah,
floor?
very similar. Like you get to see him. Like, he like straight up. He like slams his axe into a tree stump, walks under the water, and you're like patiently waiting. Like, okay, when's this? Like anytime now, dude. And like he kills the one girl. He just drowns her under the water, very simply. But the kill that I'm talking about, where he puts a woman inside of herself, that's one you need to go see without spoilers. So I can't recommend this movie enough. This if Dead Meat does not give that kill of the year, they're cheap. I'm telling you right now. So go see In a Violent Nature. It is an awesome movie. I love it.
Well then. Okay, I could just never cease to be amazed at how many ways horror manages to kill people. So,
oh, dude, there's one where it's a oldie but a goodie, and it's just an axe death, and it's like right towards the end of the film, and the victim guy thinks he's going to surprise Johnny, and he walks up behind him and goes, "Hey, I'm over here," and this dude, when I say he beats him to a pile of goo, literally beats him with an axe till he's a pile of goo. It is just vicious how he's doing it. So,
damn.
they get points for going all the way. Yeah.
Holy crap, we lost
Cora
first. We didn't even lose text.
Yeah, she said
Well, damn.
her internet might be wonky,
Yeah,
so
she did just say
she'll be back here in a minute. Yeah. So
well, good. That
No
means
worries.
I can BS and give everybody a history lesson. So my
There you go.
last one that already came out, but I wanted to see still was the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I heard that was
This looks like absolute fuckery, and I'm here for it. Like
good.
speaking of Superman, I mean you got Henry Cavill right there in the middle. So I mean I don't know
Oh,
if you
yeah.
can say anything else. It's kind of got like a Tarantino, but what's that Inglourious
Inglourious
Basterds. It
Basterds.
kind of had like, yeah, it kind of had that kind of feel, like World War II, but it's just like goofy over the top. I mean, because it is a true story, in a sense that somewhere I had it here in the beginning. Yeah, here it is. I'm trying to look past this thing. It's like, do you want to accept the cookies? No, go away. At the beginning of World War II, Winston Churchill hoped to change the course of the war by adding more, quote, irregular warfare. In effect, this was the birth of Black Ops. He formed Special Operations Executive, SOE, also known as Churchill's Secret Army, which began carrying out espionage, sabotage, and reconnaissance. So, I mean, if not, I mean, this is one of those titles that I'm like, it's a mouthful, but I'm not even mad about it because it's badass. And I love that. Like, I hadn't seen it yet, but honestly, that was one that I was
So,
really.
is it a more realistic take on like the Kingsman franchise, basically?
Yeah, it kind of, because I mean, this here says it's because now I can't search for it without like the movie just overtaking everything. I'm like, no, I want to know what the real thing was, because this here the movie is a
Right.
fictionalized portrayal of one of their most daring real life missions, which was Operation Postmaster, which was where they boarded German and Italian ships in the harbor of Fernando Po on January 14th, 1942. Working with the SOE, their plan was to steal these Axis vessels and sail them to Lagos. The raid was politically controversial and considered a breach of Spanish neutrality. Fernando Po was a Spanish colony, as such. Major Gus March Phillips and 5 other men left Poole Harbor on the 9th of August, 1941, aboard the Maid of Honor. The rest of the SSRF had departed earlier under command of Jeffrey Appleyard. We're going to go down a whole rabbit hole here, but yes, it was It's a real thing, and I'm like, you know what? Even if you just like went like and cranked it to 11 and just had fun with it, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mad. It had that kind of, like I said, like a Inglorious Bastards kind of feel to it, which is an amazing movie.
If you want to add Cora back, she's back, by the way.
Is she back? Okay, goody.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah, she
interesting.
does.
I heard about that one, the Ungentlemanly Warfare or whatever. I just, for whatever reason, I haven't gotten around to it yet. Like, I've heard nothing but good things. But, I mean, and with as bad a luck as Henry Cavill's had, you kind of feel bad for the dude and just want to support whatever he's in.
Yeah,
But,
I'm like, I'm here for this movie right now.
Right.
That
No,
and,
it sounds interesting.
what was that one that came out? I think it was last year, Sisu, which was like basically John Wick in 1940 something. Where,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like over the top, just like bloody in your face, like John Wick type of shit.
Oh,
Can't go wrong with a period piece, is what I'm saying. I think
yeah.
I'm trying to find where is that picture. Excuse me while I try to Google. Cora, did you see this movie? Are you alive? Are you with us?
I'm here. What movie?
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
No, but I heard of it, and I kind of meant to see it, but it's
got your boy Henry Cavill in it. I'm surprised you don't know.
Oh my God! Yes, I knew I had a reason to want to see it.
Yeah, there he is. Look at him sporting that beard right there.
You know, I'm not a beard kind of woman, but I'd be
on.
okay with him having one.
I mean, I'm more of the style over there with the guy with the pipe and the, the stick of dynamite and the cap. But hey, I'll take it.
That guy looks like a guy who runs an Irish pub and just gets drunk every night and ends up like
he
being
just throws like
home.
fucking Molotovs, like Irish car bombs and shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I want to see this one. Yeah.
I was looking for this because somebody that we all know and love, Sir Christopher Lee, who we all know is, Count Dooku, Saruman. He was Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he was actually a part of this.
I loved his Dracula in those Hammer films, man. He did so good in them.
I'm like, this is a dude, his whole life is just insane. And part of it was that he was actually in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare back in World War II.
Oh.
And this is like, I don't know why somebody,
wow.
You did, like, this dude like hunted Nazis in World War II. I'm like, how much more badass could this guy be?
Nice.
It says someone, they didn't, I don't think, portrayed him in the movie, which would have been kind of cool. And if anybody knows,
he died recently, right? Like,
he died a few years ago.
Within the year, or maybe a couple years ago.
I mean, he was pushing 90 something.
It hadn't been too long ago that Christopher Lee passed away. I thought
it was 2015. He was born in 1922. Like he was around for quite a while. So I mean, that's just insane. Like that. If I know when no one ever asks for any behind the scenes stuff on Lord of the Rings, like every time Aragorn kicks the helmet, we're all just like, he kicked a metal helmet for real, right? And he broke his toe. Like,
he broke his toe.
You have to say you got to hold it back. But the one piece of trivia that always gets me is when they're shooting the. Let me take that off there, Jesus. when they're filming the scene where Saruman gets killed by Wormtongue, and he stabs him in the back, and he falls off of the Tower of Isengard, and gets impaled. He told him, Peter Jackson's telling him, like, yeah, so you're gonna get stabbed and you're gonna fall over. And so he did the scene, and then he was like, don't you know how people how they act when they get stabbed? And Christopher Lee looked at him, he's like, I know exactly what that sounds like. Like,
I'm sure he does.
Because he was telling him, like, he's like people don't go like, like, it's not this over dramatic thing. He's like, it's that, like, your breath just gets out of your body and you just that's it. He's like, yeah, I know what that sounds
like. That's how
Peter Jackson just kind of backed up and said, you know what, we'll let him have it.
How do you think Tom Savini got so good at recreating what death looks like? Because he was a photographer in the Vietnam War. I mean,
you've seen some.
I mean, he literally took pictures of this stuff. So I get it.
War ain't pretty, but I mean, like I said, you can.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's in video games. That's a positive karma outcome. You got to hunt Nazis, so that's pretty cool.
There you go.
All right, Now that Cora's back amongst the living, what's your last one that you've seen?
Okay, the last one, I was just shocked how much I loved it. It's called Damsel, and it's this action kind of it's fairy tale-ish, and it was fucking fantastic. It had some fantastic people in it. Millie Bobby Brown played the quote princess.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett was in it. Robin Wright,
Wow.
Ray Winston, other people I recognize, but I don't know what the fuck they were in. And it's the concept of there's this fairy tale, like Cinderella, Disney, universe where there's castles and, different kingdoms. And this girl gets traded off to go marry a prince in a different kingdom. And, well, let's just say she gets thrown down a hole to be eaten by a dragon to appease an old promise to a dragon. And she ends up kicking ass and taking names, and fucking fantastic movie.
I'm not gonna
really
lie,
liked it.
when I put this picture up, I was like, "Is that Maggie from The Walking Dead? The hell?"
Oh, she does
yeah,
look
that
like
kind of
that.
looks like
I
her.
thought it was. Then I saw
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown. I'm like, "Oh, I see it. That's 11, and she's got a sword now."
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm-
not silly. It's not ridiculous. It's not stupid. It's actually very well done. I was
That's cool.
shocked by
Now, is it based off of the like Snow White and Cinderella
it.
books, or is it
Mm,
not?
I don't know. It was let me see here.
'Cause, I mean,
it was
and now-
written by
and
this
I-
guy named Dan Mazu, who wrote Fast X last year. He really has no experience with writing. I
I was
don't.
like, did he really write anything for it? Did he?
Yeah, but honestly,
I'm like,
honestly, Tex, it's just like they took the idea of a fairy tale and made it into like a horror suspense kind of
So
thing.
it's kind of like in that vein of like the Grimm TV show, or
Better.
what was that one that
and-
Once Upon a Time that was on ABC for a
way
while? Kind of like
better.
that.
Way better.
Better
like
than that?
actually,
Okay.
actually movie
Cool.
plot. And the cool thing is, in like the Lord of the Rings movies where the dragon talks, this dragon talks. It talks to her. I love it.
Oh wow.
There's like a nod to Game of Thrones. That's all I'm gonna say, because there's 3 baby dragons, and it's just
Oh
fucking good.
I was gonna say, as somebody who plays D&D. I mean, yeah, dragons do talk. That's
Yeah.
that's a language skill worth picking up. Because trust me, some dragon comes crashing through a roof, you might want to talk to it. It might try to go. It might go away.
I
Your
was
stupid
shocked.
Cleric over there is gonna cast fireball and get you into a battle you didn't ask for. But that's D&D for you.
One night I was on Netflix and it suggested it, and it's like, I do love a good fairy tale story. It's probably going to be total shit, but why not? I watched it. I now watched it twice.
Now,
Nice.
would you say this movie, because Netflix, I think they released some of their films in theater. Was this good enough to go
Yes.
pay to
Oh,
see?
yes, 100%. I want to buy it
Okay.
if they ever sell in physical
Okay.
media. It's one of my favorite fairy tale
I
action
think they've-
movies I've seen.
Netflix puts out some of their stuff on physical media. I think I've seen Stranger Things before, and maybe a couple of other shows.
I don't know.
Like there's a chance. I don't know if they will or not. I haven't heard about this movie until now, but I don't watch a lot of Netflix, so
I don't either.
maybe
I don't
it
either.
just didn't hit my radar.
Do you know how I end up watching Netflix? My Roku remote has a Netflix button, and I accidentally push
yeah.
it sometimes. I'm holding my dog, and all of a sudden I push the Netflix button. I'm like, well, I guess I'll look what's on
Well, we're here
here.
now.
Well,
I've done it before.
like I don't pay for Netflix. I have other family members that I just
Right.
they added me an account on there. I swear there's like 3 actual people who pay for Netflix and everybody else just shares or whatever. How they get their money, I'll never know. But
Yeah.
like I haven't really paid much attention since Stranger Things season 4 ended, and I'm just kind of like waiting for 5 to happen in 10 more years. But
Mhm.
You're right, when they're
We'll
all
see what
like 30 somehow.
the kids are going to be on Social Security by the time the season
know.
5 comes out. But whatever.
When I
It's
started
fine.
sitting down and actually watching it, I was like, God, Jesus, you're like a fetus. Like, how young are you? Like, 'cause I'm used to seeing them from like season 3 and 4. I was like, oh, okay, I can believe they're in like high school, but I was like, good God, I forgot how young
Yeah.
I was. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
I
But
would
no,
say
I'll
this is
have to-
your
I'll
your
have to check
teenage
out
daughters
Damsel,
might
though.
actually like this. And to be very honest, it's not all like woke shit. It's just about a girl who's thrown into a situation and she finds her strength. There's no political shit in it.
Okay.
It's just
So it's
fucking
not
good.
like a
I mean, that's a
Mary
badass shot
Sue
right there.
kind
That's
of
why I know
female
that.
character.
Yeah.
Is she okay? Is she more in the vein of like a Sarah Connor from the original Terminator,
Yes,
or more like
yes.
a Ray Skywalker?
She the first. She starts out naive,
Okay,
and she realizes there's this turning point at a certain point where she ends up in a cave,
yeah,
and she's trapped, where she sees the names of all the other princesses that have gone in before her and died,
Oh shit.
and all of a
Okay.
sudden she goes, "Fuck! I'm gonna die if I don't figure out how to do something," and she changes, naive princess to, "Fuck! I gotta
Right.
fight for this," and it gets better and better and
Okay.
better. It gets
That's
better
cool.
and better and better.
So she's not like, I'm a girl boss, I don't need a man.
Oh
She's actual.
no.
Okay.
She's
Just a
very
second. I can't
Yeah.
I
stand
think
those kind
I
of
was like,
female
with that
characters.
kind of
Those
title, I was
suck.
like, I hope this is ironic because, like,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that at all, and I was shocked
Awesome.
that it was just really good.
Yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Snow White and the Huntsman, but like a
Oh, with
the
Chris
stupid
Hemsworth.
chick. Yeah, but with the horrible chick from Twilight. But it's kind of like that.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
say it reminds you of a fairy tale, but it's not really a specific one. But it stands on its own. I loved it.
Hell yeah.
And they did leave it open to maybe a sequel, but I don't know how she could do it better. But yeah, I mean, they had some pretty good people in it. Like Angela Bassett did the smallest role I've ever seen her ever do. So she must have liked it to take that role. Like, 5 minutes of dialogue. So
once
no, that's
Stranger
not true. There's
Things
from
is
the
over,
beginning.
what else is Millie Bobby Brown gonna do? So give her something to
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep going with that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I loved it. It was my favorite so far this year, to be honest.
All right, we got one more for text for ones he's seen, and I can't imagine what it would be. You're gonna love this movie poster I found. It looks cool.
Oh god, dude!
There was a lot to choose.
Before I even don't even put the picture up yet. I love retro horror. I love the Grindhouse era, drive-in era of horror. That 70s going into the 80s. I love that time. I love time period pieces within that. And this film is perfect for that. Imagine if Johnny Carson met the devil, is the best way I can describe it. Yeah.
Like to sit down and have dinner, or to be like scared?
No, like a episode of the Johnny Carson show from back in the day had the devil on it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
the movie that I'm talking about is called Late Night with the Devil. It stars David Dastmalchian. I can never say the dude's last name. I'm sorry, I messed it up. But this was another film produced by Shudder and IFC. And this movie, even the way that you watch this movie, like when you went to the theater, it didn't even take up the whole screen. It was in 4:3 ratio where it had black bars on the sides of the screen. Like it had the entire, without spoiling anything, basically there's a late night host played by David Dastmalchian, and he wants to become a late night television star. Well, Johnny Carson at the time is the number one guy. And no matter what he can do on his show, no matter what he does, he's always number two. And for any of the more politically conspiratorial minded people who know anything about Bohemian Grove, about the whole secret societies.
That. Yeah, that's some crazy shit, by the way.
That plays into this. There's a version of the Bohemian Grove, the whole trading your soul for power or fame or whatever. And like I said, I don't want to say too much about plot wise because I really want people to watch this.
Is this something I could watch without having a nightmare?
Yeah, well, I don't know about nightmares. It's not there. The only violence or blood is at the end of the movie.
Okay.
But I would say this movie's good enough. It's worth trying. And if you don't like it, turn it off.
Would you let your daughters watch it?
Oh, they've already seen it.
Oh, okay, that's good. All right, cool.
Oh yeah. No, we watched it the first night it was released on Shudder. But
Oh, nice.
I actually went to see this one in theaters, and I watched it on Shudder. But this is, David Dastmalchian, and it's a taping of his show on Halloween night. So he brings in like a magician and a psychic. He brings in this girl who grew up in a cult, a demonic cult, and the woman who wrote a book about her. And basically, they imagine a 90-minute version of the Johnny Carson show played out on a film, and bad things happen. What the bad things are, I do not want to spoil because I
Sure.
adore this film. I've seen it probably 10 times since it came out. I love this movie. It's got that 4:3 quality. It's grainy. There's a lot of intrigue in this movie. There's,
Okay.
like the main character's wife dies suspiciously. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and it really shows like how skeevy TV producers are. Where they're,
Oh, they're bad.
like where the people within some of the people within the show are like, hey, we don't need any more of this because bad things have started to happen. But you see the skeevy TV producer be like, hey, ratings just went up 25%. We got to keep going, push harder. And when they do the scene where they bring the devil out in the little girl, it is like, it looks so good because it's a low budget film. They had to get creative with it, and it doesn't look cheap. It doesn't look bad. So even if you're a non-horror fan, this is the first time I saw this film, because I have a rule in October. I only watch films that take place on Halloween, just because I want as much Halloween flavor as possible.
Right.
This made that list without question the first time that I saw it. So, Late Night with the Devil on Shudder as we speak. As soon as we're done with the show, go watch it. So, it's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about that. And like I said,
Oh,
tell me
dude,
that isn't like
it's
that,
amazing.
I want this as an actual poster. That is like you said,
Dude.
that's some 70s looking, like that's some They Live type of. I love the old
The
school
best
TV,
poster.
devil
Well,
horns.
my favorite of the posters is it's that same 70s style font, but it's a picture of David Dastmalchian standing there. But instead of his face, it's just got like flames over his head, and it just has a very creepy vibe to it. And it's not a blood and guts movie. Of course, there's horror.
So
with
it's a
blood and
psychological
stuff.
thing.
I'm gonna say, it seemed like
It's a very much a.
yeah.
It's like 70% psychological and then 30, bloody horror or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it's what's really cool is there's one character in it. He's a former magician turned skeptic, and he has formed a society that his entire job is he goes around and proves, oh, you're not actually magic, or you're not actually psychic, and here's how. And he proves people to be liars, and he plays integral to the plot of this movie. So go check out Late Night with the Devil.
I'm going to actually look into this. Yes.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but
Yeah,
good things. Like I said.
it's awesome. I loved it.
Okay, since I've been doing nothing but watching just whatever Frank tells me to for retro review purposes. I mean, look, I'm not mad. I'll see all these movies eventually. But so I had 3 and one that I already had wanted to watch that it came out. But I'll start with a honorable mention, and I'm pretty sure I looked just to be sure, and it's okay if I'm wrong because I gave Cora a pass on one of them. But one that I was actually really excited for that I remembered off the top of my head was Nosferatu.
I can't wait for that.
I am beyond excited. We did do the original, which again, a classic, always worth watching. Like it's even if you haven't seen it, that shot of the silhouette going up the stairs with the creepy like the hands.
Oh, the hand, the hand.
But that's an iconic shot, just period. So, you look at that cast: Bill Skarsgård. I mean, you got Lily Depp Rose.
I saw this, and I almost put it on my list of things I want to see. This was almost. I have the original with the original recorded soundtrack on DVD.
I was gonna
The one
say
that was
I
hard to
don't-
find.
because I'm
Oh,
like
I-
that's
Orchestral
I've noticed
soundtrack
that
one? Which
Yes.
I'm like that's the one I've been trying to find because I've seen so many other versions. of this
I can
too.
I
Yeah,
can give you a
that's-
link. I did like 3 hours of research and I found the exact version of. I'll send you guys the number on the back of the. I'll send some pictures that gives you the codes to know what you can look
it's-
for.
I wanted-
There's
'cause I
many
wanted to-
because that
No, I
film
wanted the
shouldn't even
original.
exist. That film shouldn't even exist because it got sued and like all of the prints were to be
Mhm.
destroyed, and it's a wonder that film is even around these days. It's hilarious.
And with a film like that, with the original one, I mean, you can do. People have done their own edits to like soundtracks and stuff to try to make it. I've seen so many different versions of it too, or just even clips that kind of give it. They'll show the same scene and they'll do a different track over it, and that is the power of music. I mean, really, when you have a score behind something, it's not just visual. That proves that point of like, look, we love Star Wars, we love Harry Potter, we love Jaws, but you got to give some credit to John Williams because that's the other half of the pie right there. You know what I mean? So,
well, it's going to be. I believe this comes out on Christmas, right? On December 25th.
I think it is Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I believe it may be Christmas Day, which works out for me because normally my kids go to my ex-in-laws, so I've got like Christmas Day free. So I'll just go watch Nosferatu. So it'll work out.
Well, if
Nice.
this is me calling from the future, I'll be very recently married, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be one of the first movies we see as a married couple. So
there you
that'll
go.
be fun.
Woo-hoo.
But, I mean, you should be. I mean, Tex should be happy. I still have the ticket stub. Our first two movie dates were horror movies. So
Hell yeah!
it was.
Hey,
Well, I showed her the original. I showed her the first. It's not really a horror movie, but Happy Death Day. Then we saw two in theaters, and then saw Halloween 2018 was the next date. So
it was all right. They went heavy on the Jamie Lee Curtis, but
no, I mean the 2018, the
Michael,
one that was still good. Because Kills was
amazing. It was. The kills were great. I could have done with less Jamie Lee Curtis and her preaching nonsense, but it is what it is. So y'all know my plight with that witch of a woman very well. So
I know. I can't wait to get your autograph on the movie poster for the last movie, the Halloween movie, for Christmas. I'm working on that one for you.
He's trying to
you
enjoy
can
Christmas.
take that. Hey, hang on. When you get that autograph, when you get that Halloween Ends poster signed by Jamie Lee Curtis, I want you to shine it up real nice. I want it perfect.
I'm going
Roll
to send it
up.
to your house.
It's just right in the ass. Just right
I'm going to send it to your house so you can. I might even frame it for you.
Yeah, frame it for him.
Hey, I can always use good kindling. I can start.
I thought you were going to say target practice.
I thought you were going to say target
or target practice. Hey, as I chant "Evil dies tonight," I will shoot it. And do my thing. It'll be great. So, it's all good.
Well, anyway, so now that we're out of whatever that was, we'll go to anticipated movies. So anything that's scheduled to come out from now till the end of the year, which I think I went right to the end of the year, didn't I, with Nosferatu?
Yeah, we jumped all the way to the end.
That's all right.
Now, there is one that I'm not surprised, but all three of us picked.
Is it my first one? Is it my first one?
If you're doing it in order from how I typed it out, it might be actually. So we might want to get that one out of the way now.
Okay, do you want me to say it?
What's going to say?
Deadpool.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Deadpool Wolverine. I love.
I had so many to choose from. I couldn't find a good. I just had to go with that one.
You should have put the popcorn bucket. But yeah, I
thought about it.
I've always loved. Well, Hugh Jackman is just his God's gift to women. But I like the X-Men everything, and Deadpool was okay. Okay, I'm not a huge Deadpool like, oh my god, it's fantastic, but it is pretty good. So I'm excited to see the combination of those two universes. Just like I want it, I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. It's like, and like I said, I'm like, I know when I search for Deadpool 3 and I'm looking for pictures, I'm like, I'm gonna find a plethora of shit, and I'm gonna have a hard time choosing. But you know what? This one kind of
Mhm.
works because this right here doesn't scream like how you do. I mean, just self-aware marketing and just having fun with it, like Deadpool Wolverine. He said yes, like
Well,
just
they
those typical cartoons.
weren't they teasing it before they even filmed it because they're friends or something, and like they were doing
Yeah.
stuff on Twitter, like before it even was a thing. Like they joked about it.
That's the thing is like if you were just follow the two of them, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, it's like man, they're really good buddies and they just like to just break each other's balls all day.
Yeah.
So, and
This
I'm like,
to me like it was fan driven to even
yeah, I'm
happen.
like, if this is what we. I mean, I'm not even gonna be mad. This movie's gonna be off the rails. and I'm
Yeah,
here for it.
I'm gonna go see this opening weekend.
Yeah, I think Frank messaged
I've already
me.
got my tickets.
Yeah, I was like, Frank messaged me a few weeks ago. I was like, hey, I already got tickets. You and Rachel get first dibs. You
I've
want to
got
go?
tickets for Thursday
Oh,
night.
hell yeah. Yeah, I was like, let's go.
Well, I
Come
will
on.
say this.
We also get yellow and blue Wolverine finally. Like, come on, man.
I want a T-shirt and/or poster of the alternate logo or the alternate name and logo for this movie that Hugh Jackman put out with, which was Wolverine and asshole instead of Deadpool and Wolverine in the same font. Like, if they make that T-shirt, I will buy it. Just I'm letting you know. I'm putting that out there in the ether now, Disney. So make that one. You'll sell a bunch, at least a few, or either way. But yeah, this is
a couple popcorn buckets along the way too. As a bundle.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I hope, and now we do need to keep in mind we are doing a prediction show the Tuesday of that week, so keep our powder dry somewhat.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't even know where to put this.
I hope this movie I hope they hold nothing back. Throw everything, throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. Just go full bore here, and I hope it's awesome. Like, we get Hugh Jackman again. I don't think it'll be our last time we get him because that, little movie called Avengers Secret Wars is going to be happening. I highly doubt that.
And he is going through a divorce, I think, Hugh Jackman, so he might need the cash. So
yeah, well, I guarantee you at some point we will see a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man standing there with a Hugh Jackman Wolverine for the very first time in Avengers Secret Wars. So I got a feeling this movie probably sets that up. So I'm looking forward to it.
So. If you can quit playing with my heart when you bring in Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and then you take him away from me again, like that was kind of fucked.
Oh yeah, for like 5 whole seconds, just for him to go back to that crappy Sony verse. I'm good. I think that's the only one we all three have on our list.
I was like,
I'm pretty sure.
Just go right back to Cora because all three of us have that on our end.
Well, Jeremy and I had a couple. He picked a couple I almost picked, so they were like in that range. But
okay, well, go ahead. Just go ahead and give your list overall, Cora. Like the rest of them, whatever you have.
All right. A Quiet Place Day One. I love the movies. I want to see the beginning part so I can kind of like immediately go home and go watch the other one again. And then The Watchers.
Yeah, lines up.
The Watchers is one that is a surprise to me that I want to see. And I love M. Night Shyamalan, and I purposely don't know much about it. I'm not letting myself, but I want to watch
I've seen the trailer a couple times. I
haven't seen the trailer.
This trailer played both in front of In a Violent Nature and Late Night with the Devil, so I've seen it very much recently. Basically, like a woman drives out into the forest, like there's a weird door that opens, and she's told if she doesn't come in it within 5 seconds, it's going to close, and you can there's like this vast forest, and you kind of hear creepy things. So it's a M. Night Shyamalan movie, so kind of what you're getting into. But I'm looking forward to
it with a grain of salt into the last 30 seconds of the movie because
right, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm still affected by how all his movies affected me, the psychological thrillers. So I'm very excited about it. The next one is Horizon Chapter 1. The whole American Saga Western thing that
American
Kevin
Saga.
Costner's doing. It's going to be in 2 parts. I'm ready for this. I love Westerns. I love Kevin Costner. Also, squirrel moment, at the end of this calendar year, we should have the final episodes of Yellowstone that involve him before the next iteration is created. Hopefully, we will see. I think they're still filming them right now. So yeah, I'm all for the Western. It's coming. The first chapter is coming out June 28th. Oh, we will get it this year. And the second one is coming out August 16th. So I'm looking forward to both, I should say. And then the
Didn't he put his own money into this getting made?
I don't know. I just know that it's a passion project
I
for
think
him.
he did.
I could believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one, there are no Magic Mike movies, but
Right.
Oh no,
Mr.
Well, we'll
Channing
never do.
Tatum is going to be in a movie with Scarlett Johansson about the 1960s NASA space program called Fly Me to the Moon, which is a comedy drama, which is kind of like showing the behind the scenes of NASA back in the day. And I love everything NASA. I love everything NASA. I love Channing Tatum. I'm not a fan of Scarlett Johansson's tits and her lips being so ridiculously huge, but whatever.
I love them.
There's a lot of other great people in it. Ray Romano's in it. Woody Harrelson. Like I'm here for it. So it's coming out in July. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And that's my list.
Better have the song.
I wonder if a certain Operation Paperclip, where America brought in a certain group of bad guys to get us to the moon, is going to be mentioned.
I don't know. I again don't like to read too much into stuff because I want to be surprised. But NASA, Channing Tatum, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah,
sounds interesting.
So there's my list.
I'll watch that.
All right, what you got, Tex? Even though you cheated on like 2 of them, but whatever.
Hey, you don't control me.
Oh, you don't think so?
So
you want to see a magic trick?
I love it.
See what's funny?
I love it.
You may.
Texas need to be humbled every now and then again and reminded that not everything is bigger and better in Texas.
See, you can Thanos snap me away from the screen, but I know I'm still here, so that's all that matters.
He's so
I mean, you can sit there in your little corner.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna do his picks for what he wants to see this upcoming rest of the year. Okay, so Tex is really excited to watch the end of the next Bachelor franchise, and he's really looking forward to from like September to December watching all of the Hallmark original Christmas movies that have been made this year. I've got my tissues ready to cry. So by Christmas he can see them all. And he's also really, really into rewatching I don't know, some stupid kid. I can't go with this anymore. He likes horror movies. He hates everything I'm saying. Dude, are you coming back?
If I were to do that,
don't make me text you.
If I were to do that, my year would end with me putting a shotgun in my mouth. So that's how that would end.
Where are you?
But no, the things I'm actually looking forward to.
Hold on, Corey. Can you not hear him?
Is this? Oh no, not again.
Okay, well, I messed it all up. Okay, so you leave, come back.
Yeah, Corey leave and come back.
Get your spot back. Go ahead.
Okay. Either way, obviously we've already covered the Deadpool 3. I'm really, really looking forward to Strangers chapters 2 and 3. They, like I just covered. We'll talk about chapter 1. They laid a couple Easter eggs with a few different groups in this little, Pacific Northwestern kind of town. The eerie vibes. They've got my boy Richard Brake in there. I'm very curious to see where this franchise goes. I cannot wait for it. I love it. It's cheesy knockoff slasher crap, but you know what? That puts my butt in seat, so it's all good. The other 2 films I'm looking forward to, the number 2 on my list, because Deadpool 3 was number 3, is Maxine. Is the third of the X Pearl now Maxine trilogy from Ty West. And if for anybody who has seen these films, this one takes place in the 80s during the rise of the slasher film. You had the Night Stalker going on in LA. Bates Motel is a character in this film from Psycho fame. Basically, Maxine is a poor girl from Texas that wants to be a star. If you've seen the X films, I won't spoil anything or whatever. But Maxine, just go watch the trailer and tell me this doesn't look like a lot of fun.
I watched the trailer and I almost decided to put it on my list.
It looks good. Like that scene where she knows she's going to have to face the Night Stalker, and she like has all of her keys in her hand and they're in between her fingers. I'm like, all right, this is going to be sweet. I can't wait to see what they do with this. But I've heard rumored that Ty West has other ideas for other Maxine films. As long as this one's good, I'm fine with that. But hey, how can you not love Triple X in a movie title? I mean, come on now. How am I? There's no way I don't like this movie.
I'm glad I found that Hollywood sign of it. That is actually a really cool show.
Do you know why? Do you know why Triple X is represented for porn and other salacious material? Do you know why it is?
Alcohol.
No. To get a man's attention, you have to tell him everything 3 times.
It's all good. Hey, whatever works.
Triple X, you're bad. Yeah. It's a joke. A comedian said that I'm not delivering well. Sorry.
The number one movie. Which is oddly enough, it's a Christmas. Cora just talked about me watching Christmas movies.
You know what?
My number one most
specifically Hallmark love story Christmas movies.
Hey, there's a love story. There could be a love story. We don't know.
Let me guess, there are tits in it.
Probably.
Well, hopefully. Terrifier 3. We're gonna get to see Santa Claus. Yeah.
No, bad fucking touch, Tech.
Yes.
Bad touch.
Yes.
You set it up. He knocked it down. I mean, come on. You did say Christmas.
You love that softball in the air, and you don't expect me to hit a grand slam off of that, or you
underhanded it right to him.
You know,
right?
I'll take my licks. Fine.
Okay. Terrifier 3. Art the Clown. My spirit animal is Art the Clown. He's give a damn broke and he don't care. He's wearing Santa Claus's face like a necklace. How can you not love this? You know, I don't.
Wait, he killed
I've
Santa
seen
Claus?
the.
I guess I don't even know what this.
What's on his neck? Look right there. What's on his neck?
He could be but he could have gone to the Halloween store and bought a fake.
Really in the Christmas spirit, I guess. I don't know.
Well, either way, I've seen the teaser trailer. I have that poster that I got whenever I went to go see Terrifier 2 in theaters.
Yeah. I
love Art the Clown. Art the Clown is one of the best things that happened to horror in decades. I cannot wait for. I'll be watching a Christmas movie during October Halloween season. That's how much I love this. So yes, give me Terrifier 3 all day, buddy. I'll be there multiple times. I can't wait.
I think Brooding Gamer said
I think I broke Cora's brain.
Ho ho ho. This is what happens. Well, you skip right past getting coal into your tree. You get this motherfucker breaking into your house.
He won't be saying ho 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 because he doesn't say anything, but he'll be mouthing the words, I'm sure. So,
oh my god! I hope the little girl is in like an elf outfit or some shit. She's like his little.
Oh, they gotta have. Could you imagine the pale girl in like an elf outfit with like a bloody axe? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that just be tremendous? You know, like I hope there's a scene where they're in like a mall and Art kills the mall Santa, and he's in the mall Santa's place, and he just butchers everybody.
No. What you want is Billy Bob Thornton playing himself from Bad Santa getting murdered by Art.
Oh,
that'd be kind of funny, actually.
Hey, I'm not hating the idea. That's all I'm saying. There's so much potential with this. You know, I mean, I love the Terrifier franchise. I mean, go back and listen to me crow over it whenever we covered the first 2 earlier this year. But yeah, I cannot wait for Terrifier 3. So Cora gets her wish. I'll be taking in a Christmas movie this year. So you're welcome, Cora. So it's fine.
I don't know that I'm asking to be thanked, but you know.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Whenever we review, because I'm sure we will,
I'm not watching it.
Just watch it.
No.
It's a Christmas movie.
No,
Christmas movie.
I'm not falling for this shit. No.
Just pretend it's a Hallmark
The
movie.
title has the
Pretend
word
it's-
Terrifier in it. Not that fucking stupid.
Okay, well, don't look at the title. Just like put your hand over it. You know,
No.
you're fine. It's fine.
No.
It's just he's a Christmas clown. You know?
I'm gonna
He's a
tell you.
Christmas-
I'm gonna tell you a secret as to what movies I know I shouldn't watch. If you love it, I know I
Uh-huh.
shouldn't watch it.
I will say, I think, speaking of Brooding Gamer, I think me and him were in line talking to some people. We were getting some food, and the girl in front of us, we were talking about horror, and she's like, I can tell about somebody how they feel about Terrifier. I'm like, that
Oh
might be
yeah, oh, it's
fair.
one of those movies. Yeah, she's right.
In
Yeah.
terms of like horror, yeah, I'm like, yeah, if you like it or if you don't, I'm like, I can kind of tell where you're at. And I'm like, I'm still in the camp if I like it because, like Tex said, I'm like, we had that first wave of like the 2000s where we had the really gory in your face stuff with Halloween, with Texas Chainsaw Remake, stuff like that. And I'm like, you still got to you got to have some other iconic thing come in and stick. And this did it.
Oh yeah.
You got to go out there and you got to, you know.
Or the clown.
I think
or
he
the
very
clown,
quickly became a horror icon. Yeah.
He's a horror icon. I would argue that he doesn't have the lineage that Michael and Jason and Leatherface do, but he's up there with them.
It's
what this movie does.
I like it.
Art the Clown doesn't do anything new or original, but everything he does is tremendous, and it's just wow.
Remember what I said about like how
Man.
many ways you could kill somebody? I was just like, oh, sweet Jesus. Okay.
He handsawed a woman in half. It was art. It was stand up and applaud. You know, it was. You know, it is so many of that. I can't praise Art the Clown enough. Like you know, he's my buddy. You know.
So would you
I
go to a
love him so
Comic
much.
Con to meet him, the actor?
David Howard Thornton, you bet your ass I would.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yes I would.
I think it
Oh, yeah.
lends to how that guy plays that character. For someone who doesn't talk, it's the way he like his body movements, his language, like the way he expresses. Obviously that.
He's like-
where's that? Like that paint right there, that paint job, that makeup helps. But I'm like, he brings this weird edge to that like character.
I
that
forget who said this,
creepy as shit.
but they said, but somebody compared him like if Bugs Bunny was to ever be a serial killer, he would be Art the Clown. He's so comical,
Yeah.
like the way he moves and acts. Like in Terrifier 2, when he kills the mom, cuts her head off, cuts the head of it off, uses her skull as a candy dish.
And you
And then
wonder why I
whenever a
don't want to
kid
watch it.
Oh, no, I haven't even got to the best part. A kid tries to reach in and grab more than one piece of candy, and he slaps the kid on the hand and does one of these at him. It's like, you know, he just killed this chick, and he's telling kids only one piece of candy at a time. It's just art at its finest. It's you know, take all of my money, please. Here, have it. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that would be Tex's list. That's a good segue because that was the other one that me and him both had. I had Terrifier 3 because, like I said, that one kind of took me by surprise, and I'm glad it did.
Dude, I can't wait.
And as
I'm
he
so
said,
jacked.
as he said, as a pun, he could crow over that movie so much. So that was my other one, just out of curiosity. I'm kind of wondering about this Crow movie, this remake, because the big elephant in the room is obviously, you know, we talk about Brandon Lee. I mean, Tex, last show when you asked me about Isaac being an icon to apparently, you know, my people, I was like,
So
no,
your people,
yes. You know who it is?
Your people, officially.
It's Brandon
course.
Lee's the Crow. That's the icon.
Well,
yeah.
Now Brandon Lee's Crow was so iconic. He literally inspired my favorite wrestler of all time, Sting.
Okay.
And gave him his whole look.
Oh,
you know
that's
what I
where
mean?
Sting got inspired from? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because obviously Sting was just the surfer with the blonde hair and the bright colored.
Yeah.
It was actually Scott Hall that saw the original Crow movie and was like, "Hey, you should do that gimmick," because he was going to change it up, and that's why he grew his hair out long and became a sad Tim Burton boy. So, yeah.
Learn something new every day.
That's a new one. I know in the haunt I work at, when my people come through. One of the other devils goes like, "Oh, here come the sad kids." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Hey,
I
hey,
love
hey,
that's how we refer to them as them people now or your
hey."
people
Yeah,
now. It's so
right. Because I just need like a picture on a hotkey right here of just RDJ being like, "What do you
right.
mean, you people?" Like,
Smoking.
oh,
Yeah.
know what I
How
should do?
many packs of
that
clove
picture and make
cigarettes
them live on me.
are in your house right now? Because I know what your people like. So yeah.
But
You don't know me. You don't understand me. I can't hair flip anymore because my hair's short now. But whatever.
Are you gonna
Anyway,
sad dance like the goths on South Park? You're just gonna
yeah,
just do that
that's
kind of
that is.
sideways.
I love that. I love that gift. Just every once in a while, just keeps flipping his hair. I'm like, that is accurate.
That's funny.
Speaking of whipping your hair back and forth, one I'm definitely curious about is twisters.
Twisters.
I
Yes.
saw that, and I almost.
You know
I'm
what?
seeing that at my local drive-in. I already have plans made.
Okay, I'm excited because I want to see. I mean, you have the same font. And it's you just tacked on an S. I'm like, so is it a sequel? What is this?
It's gotta be.
I mean, I'm not. A week or so ago, we watched the original one, and I was like, this still holds up. I like this. So I can imagine what this one's gonna be like. I mean, as long as you don't go too over the top to where it almost looks kind of fake. I mean, yeah, which
Mhm.
can't happen with newer movies. But no, I kind of
Well,
wondering about this. I hope we get maybe like I said, my wishful thinking is that like it does follow some years after the original movie, and like Helen Hunt is like the head of this like whole department that they all work for, and they all work for her. Like just a quick cameo, get her in there, get her out. But just to
I
kind of give it,
haven't seen any report of her even being attached to this movie.
I'm just saying. But how many times did Andrew Garfield say like, "I'm not in the movie, guys. I'm not in Spider-Man's.
Right,
I'm not in there." I'm like, you fucking liar. As soon as you walk through that
right.
portal, I'm like, you're a fucking.
Like we literally saw pictures of him on the set, and he's still saying, "That's not me. That's not
Yeah,
me."
I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I mean, they kept whoever Negan killed under wraps pretty well, so I don't know. Yeah, it's possible you could be just trying to hold on to it. Blah, blah, blah. We went past that. He took Terrifier. We talked about My People and The Crow. Okay, so the last one, also in My People, sad people. I'm gonna go with the Joker.
Fully ado.
I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that. So
Joker Folly
I'm
Ado.
yeah, right. We're American. That's not what I want to say. I don't know.
Right.
I actually like the first movie as the work.
I
We
like
said
the
as
first
a
one.
work of art. Honestly, it's the one bad day storyline where you take this guy who's just already down on his luck and just getting stepped on figuratively and literally by life and society and everyone else, and you're gonna snap, and you're gonna snap hard. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay, holy crap! Like
The
I
way
like
that movie ends is incredible. Where
like I said, that's a boiling
where
point. That yeah, it
yeah,
works.
I love it.
you
Where Robert De
uh,
Niro gets it in the face.
he got what
I
he
can't
fucking
stand.
deserved.
I can't stand Robert De Niro and his God. He's just an obnoxious douche, and it makes me so happy to watch him sit there in that desk and get that snub nose, just get the business end of it. I love that scene so much.
That it's like
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but my God, whew,
You get
yeah, that was insane.
what do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner? And I can't remember the rest of the
When you take a
punchline.
mentally ill
You know
loner
what?
and to mix it with a society that abandons him and treats him like
Yeah.
dirt. I'll tell you what you
What?
get.
What do you get?
What you fucking
You what you
deserve.
fucking blah blah. Just takes. I mean, right
And you
between
know
the
what they
eyes.
say, that's life. And it cuts out.
Oh, it's great.
So
Which
yeah,
I mean, Joker 1. Joker 1 was. I will never consider it a superhero movie, but it is a excellent film. Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
I
wouldn't put it in that camp at all. No.
I firmly
And
believe that Warner Brothers just had a script for like a movie about a mentally ill guy, but they're like, this is not going to sell. We need to attach this to something, and they just
it works.
slapped Batman stuff on it. I guarantee you that's what they did.
And you can't get wrong with Lady Gaga. And I'm like, if you're telling me she's Harley Quinn, I'm like, okay,
Ugh.
you don't have to say anything else. Holy shit. I'm in.
The
I
fact
hate.
that she wanted
I
to
hate-
do it is surprising, but I like that she did.
It kind of
Dude,
seems up
I
her
saw
alley.
a report. There's going to be like 15 or 16 songs. This is a musical film.
That's the
We
thing
all
Yeah.
need to keep that
curious
in
about. I'm
mind.
like, wait, we're doing songs now? Okay.
It's
Yeah.
I hate musicals. I hate sing talking. I am like this got nowhere near my anticipation list. I'm not a big fan of Lady Gaga. Like I'm still gonna see it because
They
I'm
got
a
her in
Joker
Fortnite.
fan.
What are you talking about?
I'm a DC guy. I can't not see this movie, but I'm gonna begrudgingly watching it the entire time.
I'm curious how it's going to be put out there. I don't. Cora, did you see the original?
I just hope they.
I don't think so.
Oh,
You,
it's
you haven't seen Joker 2019?
Mm-mm.
oh man,
It's
That's a
good.
good movie.
It's worth the watch.
I keep
it's a very-
meaning to, but every time I think about it, it's not a good time, and then I forget about it. So I'm gonna write it down.
It's a very heavy watch.
it's a little long-winded and heavy, but man, once it gets there, it gets there, and it's.
Keep in mind,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to walk away feeling good.
It's
when you
supposed
see
to be
it
a
for the
dark
first time.
movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very
Yes,
heavy,
Yeah.
emotional.
Very dark film. Which that's what a lot of people, whenever they first saw it, like they almost didn't know how to feel because the way it ends, it's just like, what? You know, and like, whoa, you know.
If I could just quote him, you wouldn't get it.
Right. Well, and like I
After
said,
all that,
I
he's
won't-
there smoking a cigarette. He's like, "Yeah, you wouldn't get it."
I don't think anybody who watched that movie got it because I mean I won't spoil in case Corey doesn't want to watch it, but there's some there that's Joker the original is one of those that you need to watch 3 or 4 times before you even put
I
a
did.
formula together. You know,
Yeah, I was gonna let me bring up that comment. Brooding Gamer said, "I think that's a good way to put it. It's not the Batman movie people expected." So
no, like
you
Bruce
can't let
Wayne's a
that
child
be
and
hanging over you. Yeah.
Joker's like 45 years old. You know, it's like,
Bruce Wayne's like 10, and I'm like, wait.
Joker 2019 is a political commentary on the world using Batman IP is what it is. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. It touches
Yeah.
on some real shit. Like basically, it's like he has no real way of making a living, and he can't. His mom's sick. He can't
Right.
really keep her going. He can't even keep his own mind straight, and it's and unfortunately in that system of like it's like Tex, it's kind of like Saw, like where he's like, I'm trying to get help from these people who I thought were supposed to fucking help me, and they don't.
Right.
Then same thing, he
Well-
snaps, and then guess what? Now he's killing people. So he didn't kill anybody, but that's again a different podcast. But by the way, check out our Saw
And
series.
the
That's
main-
a lot of work into. Please.
The main thing that you have to keep in mind is you're dealing with an unreliable narrator as well
Oh yeah.
through the entire thing. So you don't really know what's happening. That's what makes it so interesting to watch. And it's a mind trip. It's
like oh no.
yeah. Well, like once you, like I said, I won't spoil anything, in detail or whatever. But it's make sure you're in the right headspace to take in this movie. I will say that to fully appreciate it, to understand what's going on.
Mental illness and things of the such. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It made like $1 billion. I never saw that movie making that much money. It made like $1 billion. It was
Oscars
crazy.
too, didn't it?
Yeah, he won for best actor or something.
Yeah, I think Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So haha, suck it, Marvel. DC got an Oscar. Y'all don't have one.
Like we said, we know how to
Suck on
do dark and moody and gritty and
Hey,
you see what happens?
we're Detective Comics, man. We're not,
Let's go get
whenever
shawarma.
we have a civil war, characters actually die, not just one gets a little bit hurt, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
All right, and that should be all of our top
Yeah.
fives for what we've seen.
Hold it down for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, anybody in the comments? I mean, what are you looking forward to? Like, what was something you watched this year that you really enjoyed? Put it down there. Talk amongst yourselves, I guess.
Yeah.
don't
This
know what else
summer,
to-
I'm actually looking forward to seeing. There's a lot more movies this summer I want to see than I would say there was last year. Maybe that's just my life, not necessarily quality of movies, but I'm just really looking forward to a lot more this year.
There's some good stuff coming. I guess Ghost Host asked us Deadpool 3. I'm like, we actually all had that one listed.
Yeah,
And I don't even know where to begin with what I probably think is going to happen because I don't even know. Like, why is the TVA here from Loki? I'm like, what? Huh? What? Are we doing this? Deadpool. We're not going to take it seriously. So
See, that's the one thing about it. I hate the TVA. They drive me fucking nuts.
Oh my
I
God.
cannot stand it.
Oh
love Loki.
boy,
Come on.
tell us how you feel.
That
Today.
is the
Tell
one
us how you
thing.
feel.
That is the one thing in Deadpool 3 that I'm least looking forward to. But I'm getting Hugh Jackman and Deadpool back. I can deal with it. I just I
It may
don't
not
like
be
the
for- it may be for
TVA.
a- Who even knows?
So, I mean, but then again, I know Loki's your dude. I'm not a Loki guy. I don't like that show very much. To me, like season 2 was especially very boring right till the end. So I don't like the TVA
Like, I mean,
thing. So
well, look, I had been called that as a nickname by a supervisor I had back in like 2013, 2014, like when Avengers, like the
Oh,
first
nice.
Avengers had come out. So I'm like,
Mhm.
that is
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
with me. That's so that's not just I jumped on a Loki bandwagon because of the show. I'm like, no, that
of
has
course,
stuck with
yeah.
me for a long time. I don't know why. He just always for some reason he just called me Loki. I don't know. So I will wear that.
I'm gonna be curious to see how many people go to theaters in costume for this.
I was just
movie.
thinking, I'm like, you don't think
Either
I'll
as-
go as President Loki? You don't think I will? Because I will.
Well, no. I mean, like either as Deadpool and or Wolverine. Like that's what I'm curious to see if that happens.
I'll still do it just because the TVA. Any reason I can do that for.
Right.
Of course, then speaking of not Joker, but speaking of Batman, I mean, then somebody ruined that because he had to go and shoot up a fucking theater in Denver like a dickhead. And then I wasn't allowed to go into the theater
Right.
dressed up because that cop told me, like, nope, you got to take that shit off. I'm like,
Couldn't wear
Okay.
masks anymore. Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't wear the makeup. I was going to see. What was it? Batman. Or Batman. Dark Knight Rises. I think.
Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
It was
Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. So ruined my day, dude. But anyway.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's just about it. I'm surprised we actually went for that long.
It was fun.
So,
Hey.
yeah,
We-
like I said,
we-
go out and watch.
we figured it out.
Yeah, like I said, go out and watch the movies this summer. It's gonna be all the way to Christmas because apparently, whether we're watching Art the Clown or Nosferatu in Christmas time, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
I know Cora's going to be sitting by her fire Christmas morning, turning on Terrifier 3 with some Christmas music
No.
in the background.
No,
Oh,
not
man.
gonna happen. Like ever.
All right,
gonna happen.
well,
Mm-mm.
so that's gonna be it from us. We'll go around the table again. Cora, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm allergic. I'll be here. That's about it. You guys see how often I respond to the text messages in our text thread.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I'm
I was like,
Cora
I should
don't
text
even-
you guys, like,
Cora don't
really
even answer her cell phone, much less a
Hey,
Twitter
hey.
message.
You called me when I was in the middle of holding a dog, trying to make a sandwich with the other dog barking at my feet, and they can't be together. So I was
How
in
do
a
you
terrorizing situation.
How do I have 10 times as many animals as you do, and somehow you have a harder
Well,
time?
what is
Well,
like animals you have to pick up and
Female dachshunds who want to kill each other.
yeah.
It's a little bit terrifying, and
Oh.
hard to
Every-
keep up with.
Every day is apparently a cockfight in Cora's house.
But they don't have
She lives
dogs.
at Jurassic
They're
Park.
females.
She lives at Jurassic
I
Park.
know, but they're wiener dogs. That's I was trying to make it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh,
There we
sorry. I get it now. I get it now. Frank, we missed you. Well, happy to have you come back.
Yeah, well, Frank.
And Casey, thanks for not promoting your show in the chat. I think
Thanks
I'll
for
skip
leaving.
coming to your channel this week. Do it the same.
Nah, he doesn't need it. Yeah. Anyway, so
Great-
Tex,
great
what about
job
you? What do
hosting.
you got going on?
I got going on whatever the hell we're
Oh,
doing here, and I have no idea what that is. So tune in Tuesday
I don't
to
either.
find out.
There's more days, I
Yeah.
think, between now and Tuesday than there is between Tuesday and Thursday, like this week, where we're like, what do we do? We're panicking for
yeah.
about a day.
Well, we, come back Tuesday and we'll let you know what we're doing then. So you'll find out with us. So it's all good.
Yeah, watch Frank's Twitter or somebody will post something. I'm here Tuesday and Thursday.
Well,
doing.
I will say this quickly: if you want something to watch, go check out Alex and the Garbage Man. They put on a good show. They're probably live right now. So as we get off, I'll be going over there. So go hang out with those guys.
Hell yeah! Like I said, I'm here. There's my name's right there. You know how the internet works by this point. If you don't, I don't know what you're doing here. You're probably lost.
Right.
So yeah. So yeah.
You're not wrong.
That'll just about do it. So we'll see you guys Tuesday doing whatever it is we do. So thanks for hanging out. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye. I love it. Oh, thanks for the chat.
We're glitching
You did a
out.
great job tonight, Frank.
I know.
Thanks.
There we go.
Thank you.
What up, Frank?
Oh, now Frank comes in. Comes in to bring up the rear. Thanks, man.
Maybe he'll pop in here for a second.
Maybe.
Probably.
At the end.
Maybe.
Maybe.